Super Bowl 64 will see Patrick Mahomes begin a three-peat run, and he will tie Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw with his fourth Super Bowl win. Miami's Camacho 45, his first championship at Miami. 4 Super Bowl wins in 5 appearances. And after this season, he made the Super Bowl 4 times in 5 years, from Super Bowl 54 to Super Bowl 58. Mahomes is going to be 4-1 in the Super Bowl. It is Super Bowl that's Camacho 41. Now, the year of Super Bowl 59 would be the Chiefs' 55th season in the NFL. So it would be their 60th season when Patrick Mahomes begins his three-peat run. It is Niner that's Camacho 60. Joe Montana was a Niner, and Joe Montana, his last title came in Super Bowl 24 against the Bengals. Bengals is Camacho 60, and the Chiefs' 60th season is when Patrick Mahomes ties Joe Montana. Now, this would be 40 Super Bowls later, and keep in mind that Montana went 4-0 in the Super Bowl, which is interesting. 39 seasons in between. The Bengals is Camacho 39. Now, keep in mind, this is Mahomes' 13th season overall. This would be his 12th season as a starting quarterback. Joe is Camacho 12. He ties Joe Montana in his 12th season as a starting quarterback. Joe is Camacho 30. Mahomes ties Joe Montana in 2030 in the year of Super Bowl 30. 2029-30 season adds up to the 29-30 season adds up to 59. This would begin the three-peat run, as I've talked about earlier. You can see the video at the end. The three-peat is Camacho 59, not Super Bowl 59, but after 59 prior seasons is when it actually happens in the Chiefs' 62nd season. Patrick Mahomes, Camacho 62. Len Dawson won his championship in the 1962 AFL title game. So remember, these are going to be some very fine details. Joe Montana was the quarterback of the 49ers. 49ers, Camacho 64. Kansas City Chiefs win Super Bowl 64, tying Montana the Niners. Now, Terry Bradshaw was with the Steelers. His fourth title came in Super Bowl 14 against the LA Rams. 50 years later is when Patrick Mahomes ties Terry Bradshaw. He won Kansas City their first Super Bowl in 50 years, and now 50 years after Super Bowl 14, Patrick Mahomes will tie Terry Bradshaw as member of the Chiefs. Chiefs is Camacho 30. It's also Pittsburgh that's Camacho 50. So 50 years after Terry Bradshaw's 50th Super Bowl, or his fourth Super Bowl ring, 50 years later, Mahomes will win his fourth title. Chiefs is Camacho 50. Rams Camacho 15. That was the last Super Bowl win for Terry Bradshaw. His 15th season can clinch the three-peat. Terry Bradshaw 32 to three-peat in the year 32. Chiefs Camacho 32, as we talked about before. Okay. Joe Montana's birth digits add up to 29. And basically, the 2029 season is going to see Patrick Mahomes tie Joe Montana. Joseph Montana Jr. is Camacho 62. So after he ties Joe Montana, Mahomes will three-peat in the Kansas City Chiefs' 62nd season in existence. Because Super Bowl 64 would be their 60th season in the NFL. Which way, the first repeat in 19 years, if Andy Reid does make it that far, basically, he would. Basically, it'd be his 19th season. His 19th season in the NFL, he can win the three-peat, Andy Reid, if he does make it that far. Montana played for the Niners for 14 years. Bradshaw won Super Bowl 14. Just great stuff. Tying Terry Bradshaw and tying Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes in his 12th season his 12th season as the starting quarterback of Kansas City. Bradshaw was number 12. Keep that in mind. So his 13th season overall. Got Bradshaw. His last 2 rings was a repeat, Super Bowl 13, Super Bowl 14. So that's kind of how we look at the 13 with Terry Bradshaw. What about place of birth? Bradshaw's Camacho 31, so Mahomes 3-1 record in the Super Bowl. Then he ties Terry Bradshaw. Shreveport, Louisiana's Camacho 94. I'm just saying, Terry Bradshaw in his career in the Super Bowl, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So that kind of explains those scripted Super Bowl titles, just when we're really breaking it down. Shreveport, Louisiana's Camacho 60. Be the Chiefs' 60th season that he ties Terry Bradshaw in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes. Now, what I would like to also say, and the thing about Mahomes, he's born on the 17th. His birthday would be 15 days after Terry Bradshaw's birthday, so he ties Terry Bradshaw, then he goes on to win the 3-peat in his 15th season. Now, I know what you're wondering. Okay, what's Joe Montana's birthday and all this? Well, we'll get to it. Joe Montana's birthday is Patrick Mahomes' birthday. I'll derive the relationship. So, 3 months and 6 days, that's the gematria of, Joe Montana gematria 36. 98 days would just, basically, 98 days was the repeat that he just won over Joe Montana's old team. The first repeat in 19 years, Joe Montana number 19, but 98 is also the gematria of 3-peat by itself. So tying Joe Montana, winning a 3-peat, and ultimately being 1 ring behind Tom Brady. Bradshaw, gematria 76. His 15th season, his 6th ring. Tampa, gematria 15. Tom Brady, his 7th Super Bowl. And now he would be 1 ring behind Tom Brady.